Hello everybody, I am again back with the second part of my video lecture on the topic materials of the earth crust. In this particular part, I am going to explain about classification of rock. How do we classify rock? On the basis of their mode of formation, rocks are classified like igneous rock, sedimentary rock and metamorphic rock. Now these three types of rock are further subdivided into following. Igneous rock is subdivided into intrusive and extrusive igneous rock. Sedimentary rock are subdivided into mechanical, organic and chemical sedimentary rock, whereas metamorphic rock are subdivided into two parts, that is called foliated and non-foliated. And you can see over here that I have given example of each type of rocks. Like granite is an example of intrusive igneous rock. Basalt is an example of extrusive igneous rock. Conglomerate is a mechanically formed sedimentary rock. Coal is a organic sedimentary rock. Limestone is a chemically formed sedimentary rock. And shale is a foliate metamorphic rock, whereas quartzite is a non-foliated metamorphic rock. Now at first I will explain about igneous rock. Igneous rock is also known as primary rocks. The word igneous means fire. This particular word derived from the Latin word ignis. Now igneous rocks are of thermal origin and are formed by the solidification of molten material called magma or lava. Now the most important question, why igneous rocks are called primary rocks? They are called primary rock because as other type of rock derived from igneous rock. That means sedimentary and metamorphic rock derived the rock forming material from igneous rock. And as this rock is forming under very high temperature condition, they do not have fossil. Now if you look at this diagram, you can find that there are two types of igneous rock. One is intrusive igneous rock, another one is extrusive igneous rock. Both this kind of rock are forming due to cooling and solidification of molten rock material. Intrusive igneous rock is forming due to solidification of magma. The molten rock material, when it lie inside the earth, when it exists inside the earth, it is called magma. On the other hand, extrusive igneous rock is formed due to solidification of lava. And opposite to magma, when the molten rock material come upon the earth surface, it is called lava. So these are the two broad classification of igneous rock. One is intrusive, another one is extrusive. Now I will discuss in detail about these types of igneous rock. First one is intrusive igneous rock. When molten materials of the earth interior, that is magma, do not reach the earth's surface and they cool very slowly and solidify below the surface, they formed intrusive igneous rock. Now as the cooling process of intrusive igneous rock is very slow because it is taking place under the earth's surface, the intrusive igneous rock develop following characteristics. First of all, it has coarse texture. Then it has large grains, it has large crystal, and last of all, it composed of light colored minerals. Granite is an example of intrusive igneous rock. Intrusive igneous rock bodies. In the interior part of the earth, the solidification of molten rock material take place in between different cracks or fissures, and as a consequence we have intrusive rock bodies. That means the magma solidifies in different shapes. When the molten materials of the earth interior, that is called magma, forced upward, some of them get pushed into the cracks within the earth crust and get solidified to form sills and dike. So the two common type of intrusive igneous rock bodies are sills and dikes. Now what is sill and what is dike? When magma solidified, first of all I will discuss about sill. When magma solidified between the two horizontal layers of rock, as you can see in the diagram, that when magma gets solidified between two horizontal layers of rock, it is called sill. You can go through this explanation that sills are formed when magma solidified between two horizontal layers of rock, as I have said, and they are almost horizontal with respect to layers of rocks. On the other hand, dikes are formed when magma solidified between the cracks or fissure, as you can see in the diagram, that when the solidification of magma is taking place between the cracks or fissure passing through the layer of rock, which is called dike. Now dikes are almost vertical with respect to the layers of rock, or if you observe this diagram you will understand that even with respect to sill, dikes are vertical. Next one is extrusive igneous rocks. When molten material of the earth interior reach the earth's surface, they are known as lava. In the interior part, molten material are called magma, and when they reach the earth's surface, they are called lava. They cool very rapidly. Opposite to intrusive igneous rock, in this case, cooling takes place very rapidly and solidified on the surface to form extrusive igneous rock. Now, as the cooling process is taking place on the surface of the earth, that is opposite to intrusive igneous rock, the extrusive igneous rock develop the following characteristics, which are opposite of intrusive igneous rock. Like extrusive igneous rock are having fine texture, they have small grains, they have small crystal, and last of all, extrusive igneous rock are made up of dark colored minerals. Basalt is an example of extrusive igneous rock. Now, we also classify igneous rock on the basis of chemical composition. Now, those igneous rock which contain more than 65% of silica are called acidic igneous rock, and those contain less than 65% of silica are called basic igneous rock. Now, igneous rock like acidic and basic can also be differentiated on the basis of following criteria. First of all, in terms of color, acidic igneous rocks are lighter and basic igneous rocks are darker. In terms of density, we can say that acidic igneous rocks have less density, whereas basic igneous rock have more density. Acidic igneous rocks are mainly composed of quartz, feldspar and mica, whereas basic igneous rocks are composed of iron, aluminium or magnesium. Next one is sedimentary rock. Now, sedimentary rocks are called secondary rocks. Why they are called secondary rocks? Because these rocks derive their materials from igneous rock for the formation. Now, the word sedimentary is derived from a Latin word which means settling down, and the Latin word is sedimentum. Sedimentary rocks are formed due to deposition of sediments in layer by the process of weathering, erosion, transportation and deposition. And all these processes are caused by natural agents like river, wind, water, etc. Now, because of this reason, this sedimentary rock is called secondary rock. Sediment like loose particles of gravel, sand, silt and clay are deposited in consolidated layer to form the sedimentary rock. So they are also called stratified rock because the sediment get deposited in different layers. Opposite to igneous rock, we do not have any kind of layer. Sedimentary rock have layers. For that we call it stratified rock. There remain different strata. The loose particles, that is gravel, sand, silt and clay, are cemented together by substance like lime or presence of overlying deposits. Now each layer of sedimentary rocks are separated from each other by bedding plane. So you can say bedding plane is the plane of separation between two consecutive layers of sedimentary rock. Now one very important term that is connected with sedimentary rock is lithification. Lithification means what? Cementing, compacting and hardening of sediment into sedimentary rock. We can say that it is a term that defines the formation of sedimentary rock. Now we subdivide sedimentary rock on the basis of following criteria. First of all, the first criteria is nature of sediment, then come origin, then come composition and at last mode of formation. Now I am going to explain the classification or types of sedimentary rocks. First one is mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. The particles of various size such as gravel, sand, silt and clay derived from rock cemented together to form these rocks. Why they are called mechanically formed sedimentary rock? Because no chemical process involved in their formation. The first one is conglomerate. How conglomerate formed? Conglomerate is formed due to consolidation of rounded pebbles in the bed of river. If you observe this diagram, you will understand that the pebble stones which normally accumulate at the bed of the river, these pebble stones get consolidated to form the rock that is known as conglomerate. Next one is sandstone. Sandstone is formed due to consolidation of deposits of sand, and sandstone have different strata. As I have already said you that sedimentary rock are stratified rock. You can observe the strata over here. Let me show you one strata. You see, this is one strata. This is another strata. So these lines that I am drawing are actually separating various strata. So you can say that these lines are representing bedding planes. So this is the example of mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. Next one is chemically formed sedimentary rocks. Rock salt is a typical example of chemically formed sedimentary rocks. Now, rock salt are formed by the process of evaporation of water that contain salt. That means the water get evaporated leaving behind the salt, and it happen in desert region, in shallow lakes. That is, in the shallow lake what happened? Water get evaporated and leaving behind a layer of salt on the surface, which form the chemically formed sedimentary rock known as rock salt. Next one is organically formed sedimentary rocks. As the name revealing that these rocks are formed due to deposition of dead organic matters or organic sediments. These rocks are formed by the organic sediments derived from remains of dead organisms like corals, skeleton of marine animals and plant. You can see two examples over here. One is coal. Coal is derived from organic sediments consisting of remains of plants and animals, and a limestone composed of organic sediments derived from skeleton of marine animals. So these are two examples of organically formed sedimentary rocks. Next one is metamorphic rock. Now, metamorphic rocks are formed due to a change in chemical as well as physical composition of igneous as well as sedimentary rock. As you can see over here, that metamorphic rocks are formed by the process of metamorphism or alteration of pre-existing rock. Now, we can define metamorphism as change of form, which may be physical or chemical or both. So metamorphism means change of form of the rock, and this change may be both physical as well as chemical. Now, metamorphic rock have their minerals arranged in a series of bands. For that, it is called foliated. This arrangement of mineral in a series of band in metamorphic rock is known as foliation. And if a metamorphic rock don't have the arrangement of mineral in a series of band, it will be called as non-foliated metamorphic rock. Unlike sedimentary rock, which have layers, which have strata, metamorphic rocks are foliated by nature. Now, there are three metamorphisms, three processes that are identified regarding the formation of metamorphic rock. First process of metamorphism is called thermal metamorphism. Now, metamorphism caused by a high temperature during volcanic eruption is called thermal metamorphism. Second one is dynamic metamorphism, which is caused by high pressure during earth movement. And the last one is regional metamorphism. It is caused by large scale earth movement that happens during mountain building. So we can say that during the formation of Himalayan mountain range that occur over very large area, regional metamorphism takes place. Now, types of metamorphic rock. How do we classify? Some example of metamorphic rock. Slate is a typical metamorphic rock that is derived from sedimentary rock known as shale. And marble is another example of metamorphic rock that is derived from another sedimentary rock known as limestone. All these metamorphic rocks are formed under the condition of high temperature and pressure. When high temperature and pressure is applied to sedimentary rocks like shale and limestone, then we get metamorphic rocks like slate and marble. So with this I end the second part of my video lecture. Hopefully you will like it. If you have any kind of problem in understanding, please do put your comment in the WhatsApp number, that is 6290811161, or you can do one thing, you can put your queries in the comment box of my YouTube channel. Thank you.